Hello, hello, hello. Welcome and come on in. You guys, I am so sorry. Was having some technical difficulties. I'm still having a few little issues with my close-up camera. So we're trying to take care of it. Maybe during the live, I'll be able to switch over and include the close-up so you can see what I'm doing. But for 1 second, I am just going to go in and let everybody know that we are live. Goodness, it has been a minute. So come on in, please. Thank y'all for your patience. And I am going to, I'm just going to invite some folks in for 1 second while we come on, get started. I'm just adding some people, guys. 1 second, but just come on in, invite some friends in, because that's what I'm doing. That is what I am doing. We're supposed to start at 6:30. Like I said, you know, everything was going kind of wonky today, and we had everything set up. We do set up ahead of time. I had everything set up. Hey, Chiquita. And then for some reason, nothing worked when I was ready to start the live. I don't know what happened and why, but I'm just going to give it a few minutes. Chiquita, I appreciate you dropping in. I'm working on a fall wreath tonight, so I'm just going to start with my intro. Invite some folks in. We're doing a fall wreath. It's going to be fun. I've already started the process, so I promise I won't keep you long, and I really will try and go quickly because I started much later than I intended. And I'm also going to go ahead and just take a sip of my cocktail. Y'all, I just threw this cocktail together. It's like Malibu rum, orange juice, and some other fruit juice that I found in the refrigerator. It's my own version of a rum punch. It's delicious though. I'm proud of myself. If I'd have planned to make a drink, it wouldn't have come out that good. Because I'm not, I drink certain things. I really love wine, drink that mostly. And I like French 75s. But I don't make them at home. I get them when I go out. And I like tequila and margaritas. And so outside of that, I don't have the mixologist skill. So, I'm pleasantly surprised that tastes decent. But anyway, so for those of you who are new, my name is Tara Cunningham. I am the owner and designer at Cocktails and Crafts. I'm sorry, Ribbons and Bows. Frazzled, y'all, frazzled. I'm the owner of Ribbons and Bows, and we create custom wreaths and home decor. I also am offering home holiday decorating services, which I will mention during the show, and also wreath classes where I will come to your home, or if you have a venue or access to a venue and a group of friends, I will create a wreath kit very similar to something like this. Everything will be cut, prepared for you, and I will walk you and your guests step by step through each process until you have completed a full, beautiful wreath of your own. You can take it home, put it on your door, give it as a gift. Anything you want, but I promise you it would be, when you're done, it would be gift worthy, door worthy. Don't worry if you're not crafty, you don't have to be. I've got all of those parts covered. All I need is your energy and willingness to have a good time. So if you're looking for something fun and interesting to do, think of it as a concept like paint, sip and paint. and I call it create and take, and it's wreath parties. And so if that sounds something that's like it's interesting to you, reach out to me, send me a direct message. If you like, you can also inquire about the create and take on my website, www.ribbonsbows.com, and I will give you all the details, and we can work out a date, a theme. You can create whatever kind of theme you want. Whether it could be football, whether it's Southern, LSU, Saints, doesn't matter. We can make it all work for you. If you are a Mardi Gras crew, and you and some of your Mardi Gras crew members would like to create a wreath for Mardi Gras season, we can do that. If you're really into Halloween and want to do something cool for Halloween with a group of friends or family or church members, there's just, the sky's the limit. And so again, if that sounds like something that's interesting to you and you want to get more information, just reach out to me and I'll be happy to share that information with you. Hey Mom, hey Dee, thank y'all for joining. Well, tonight we are moving out of summer and quickly moving into fall. And when you think of fall, you think of leaves and pumpkins. You also think of football. But we recently did a Saints wreath, so I'm not doing Saints tonight, but this will be a fall / football themed wreath, believe it or not. The client that placed this order, she said, I wanted to have a fall look with leaves, but I also wanted to be football. And you know, I couldn't really pull together Saints specific football with this color scheme, but I did find a way to incorporate some Saints-ish stuff, because she is a Saints fan, into this design, and I will show that to you guys shortly. So I'm going to start by showing you the sign, and I'm just going to see for a second where we are on my camera, if I can. Oh, okay, now let's see. Well, I'll wait a second because I don't know if if the phone is ready just yet. We're gonna wait a few more minutes before we start with the camera. Well, let's see. Maybe. Maybe it will work. No, it will not. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is we improvise. The show must go on, folks, right? And so since I will probably not be using the close-up camera this evening, I just want to make sure my angle is good so you can see me from this camera. So we're going to proceed. So I wanted to show, and before I start with the wreath, I also wanted to let you guys know I'm excited about this announcement. But you know what? I'm going to wait till the end. I'm going to wait till the end to do that. So, okay, so the client picked out this sign. It says, thankful, grateful, and truly blessed. This is a really nice sign. I love it. I love the earthy colors, kind of the woods and the lighter colors, which is why you can see I started using these maroons and golds and oranges, because I think that will really make the colors come together. And of course, you know, it will all make sense when I show you the ribbon. So it's every element, you know, brings the story together and creates a really good story. So we're gonna start. As you can see, I'm using an 18-inch wreath base, and an 18-inch wreath base will give you like a 26 to 28 inch wreath once we have all of the materials in it. Which is the average size wreath for a door. I can make larger or smaller. I do have larger wreath bases as well as smaller wreath bases. And so, you know, if this may seem a little too large, we can scale it down a bit, or if it doesn't seem quite large enough, we can go up. Either way, it works. So I just wanted to make sure you all knew that we're not married to this specific size, but this is my average size. This is the size that I usually will design my wreaths on, at least the mesh and ribbon ones, right? And so what I've already done is I chose the 3 pretty colors, very fall looking, maroon, gold, orange, and I alternated as I went around that outside base. And I'm going to go ahead and continue on the inside, right? And so I can basically start with any color. There's no rhyme or reason to this. So I'm going to start with orange. And I am going to curl one end. I actually use, this is 10-inch mesh. And I cut them in 20-inch strips to make these little curls. Again, if we were doing a wreath class, you would get all of your mesh pre-cut, whether we were using 1 color, 2 colors, 3 colors, whatever the design, your mesh would come pre-cut. I would teach you how to put your base mesh on. So that is something I would walk you through. And then we would move on to these curls. Now, this specific ruffle that I have is called a woodland ruffle. It's one of my favorites. There are many ways to incorporate the accent mesh into the wreath. I just prefer the woodland ruffle. I like it because I like the curls on the ends, as well as the real estate that the width of the ruffle takes up. So it gives it a fullness that I really, really like. Okay, and so we'll move on to gold. I'm just curling on the ends, like 2 to 3 times I go in. 1, 2, 3. Hey Felicia, thanks for joining. Please share, please invite some friends in. I'm working on a custom design for a client. She requested a fall/football themed wreath, and that is what we're working on this evening. It's hard to believe that I'm already getting started with fall and thinking about leaves and pumpkins. It's hard because it's still hot outside. It's been a beast out here in Baton Rouge all week. We were supposed to get rain. We haven't gotten it yet. I imagine it's coming because I can tell it's very thick and humid, but we haven't gotten any yet. We'll see what the coming days hold. But so yeah, it's hard to look at these colors and get into that fall feel, knowing how hot it is outside, and it still very much feels like summer. But preseason has started. Sorry, what? Well, I'm not using it because I can't put that cord into the computer now, so it's okay. All right. We're just gonna do it out. All right. That's my my IT extraordinaire / son Keith. He knew that I was having some issues earlier with the close-up camera, and he was just coming to try and help me out. But it's okay. We're gonna keep it moving, keep it moving, and we'll have it already better situated and equipped next week. So yeah, it's just, football season, preseason has already started, football games have already started. Soon college football will be starting. So this is a great time to place orders for football themed wreaths if that's something that you'd like to, decorate your front door with, or even purchase a smaller version for one of your students for their dorm. I mean, there's endless things that we could do. Like I said, the sky's the limit. So yeah, I got to get into this fall stuff, and soon enough Halloween will be coming right along with the fall. They kind of go hand in hand. Some people who don't care to decorate with Halloween will just go straight fall, oftentimes because you can keep the wreath up for a longer period of time, and others like to switch out for every season. I'm a switch out for every season kind of person. So yeah, I do have a Halloween, and yeah, I do have a fall. You know, so but that's just me. It's my preference. But it's you know, whatever works for you. So okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. I got a late start tonight, and I do apologize for that. Again, you know, things happen. We had the cameras set up. Everything was setting up and working. The phone that does the close-ups was charging, and somehow I knocked the charger cord off the phone. Couldn't get the phone back on when it was time to go live. Now I'm trying to charge the phone, and it's got to charge long enough to sustain, you know, for the live, and it's a mess. It was a mess, but again, we will press on. So again, I'm alternating, going in between each of my puffs with a different color. I'm tying them in with the pipe cleaners that I have already placed in the wreath, but then I also go behind with a zip tie, and I like to zip tie it. I just like the added security of knowing that nothing is going to fall off, right? So that's it. Again, if you wanted to try and make a wreath and you're following my process, you don't have to use zip ties. It truly is a matter of personal preference. You know, I choose to do that. I don't like anything being loosey-goosey. You know, I don't like to see mesh move around and shift. And so it's my process, but it's not something that's absolutely necessary because you do have the pipe cleaners in there to secure your mesh. Okay. So now we've got the golds. And I really love this burlap mesh. It's so thick and pretty, and it's got gold metallic striping in between. It's really, really nice. All right. So I had gold maroon. Maroon's next. Okay. I did say maroon was next. Gold maroon. So that's okay. I'll just stick the orange in the next slot, and then I'll come back and add that maroon. And for some reason, I don't know if it's oftentimes when I'm prepping for prepping my designs, because I pre-cut everything, even when I'm not doing the live, when I'm preparing to make, you know, to fill orders, I cut everything, you know. So I cut all the mesh. If I got 3 wreaths, I cut all the mesh for all 3 of them. I cut all the ribbon for all 3 of them. It's just my process. It keeps me organized, and it helps me not forget something. But it never fails. It always seems as if something will go off. You would think I've been doing this for quite a while now, and I'm quite regimented in my approach to this, and yet I'm noticing that I am short a piece of mesh. And I think the last time we were on the live, I was short a piece of mesh. I don't know if it's because I watch TV and cut the mesh. Maybe the TV show is so good that it distracts me and makes me lose count. I don't know. I promise I normally know what I need, but for whatever reason, I'm short. So I'm going to grab the roll of gold because that would have been the next color anyway. So I'm just going to grab that. After I secure this one, it's going to go in the last puff. All right. And I am going to put this to the side just for a second so I can cut the piece that I need. Remember, this is a 10-inch roll of mesh. Once again, I cut it in 20-inch strips. So, just going to take my rotary cutter. Bam, just like that. Okay, and that's good. And I will get this back. And we'll do our last curl with the gold piece. I'm really liking these colors. They look really rich. Really nice. Hey, Ronika, thank you for joining, my friend. How are you? I know you've been busy with school starting and all of that. I know you got a lot going on. Okay, so now I'm going to go in my last little, in between my last puff and add my last curl. Twisting it with the pipe cleaner and then securing it with a zip tie. Okay. There we go. And so now all of the mesh is on, as you can see. There we go. It kind of looks crazy. It doesn't look like it's really together. It just looks, you know, kind of weird. I know it does. It's okay. I'm okay with it. I'm secure. Because I know it'll all come together in a minute once we start adding that ribbon. Then you'll see why I chose the colors that I chose and all of that. So right now I'm just clipping off the tails of the of the zip ties. Just making it a clean look on the back. There's not a whole bunch you can do to the back, you know, so I try and keep it as neat as I possibly can and keep all of the extra stuff snipped. All right. Just going around anywhere I see a zip tie tail, I'm just snipping it off. Thank you so much, Ronika, for sharing this with your friends. I really appreciate it. Okay, and that's all of them. And so now we're ready to move on to the ribbon, and now you'll see why I chose the colors that I chose. So I normally typically use 4 ribbons in most of my designs. It's just my formula. Again, I'm not married to it, so sometimes I may not need 4. I may just want 3. I may just want 2 throughout the entire thing. It just depends on what look I'm going for and what ribbon I have to complement the theme. And so in this particular theme, I told you the lady asked for football and fall. Believe it or not, I was able to find this really pretty football and fall leaf ribbon, right? So you got your brown footballs, you got your pretty maple leaves, and so I'm pairing it with this really pretty burnt orange velvet ribbon. I am a fan of velvet. I'll use it year round. I think oftentimes it adds a touch of elegance to a wreath. There's something about the texture. You know, I like glittery and sparkly. As you can see, I've got some glittery, but I also like to mix it up. I don't know if you noticed, but the maroon mesh that I use has no glitter or sparkle. It's just like a matte compared to the metallic-y accents that you have in those. But I like to switch it up. And so, and I like to have various elements in a wreath. It just kind of make your eye go. So I like to pair that burnt orange with that football and leaf pattern. I really think that burnt orange pulls out, you know, those colors, the same color in the leaf, which is really nice. And the other complementary set I have are these, it looks like berries. I don't really know. I used it on a design previously, and I just thought it was great because all of the colors just go and screams fall. And so I paired this one, since the branches are brown, with a brown velvet ribbon, right? And so again, I just think those colors look awesome, and they're very, very fall, you know. And so what I normally will do is and I also cut my ribbon in 12-inch strips. So all of my ribbon are pre-cut, and I also cut the little dovetail on the ends. I cut them in 12-inch strips. I usually will fold them in half just to find the middle, the center, and then from there I open it up, scrunch it right in that crease, and then I go in and I attach it with the pipe cleaners that I attached the mesh with. And I tie it really, really tight, give it a few twists. The pipe cleaners are fairly long, and I don't need all that pipe cleaner, so I give it a twist, cut off the excess, and just kind of fold over the tip so you can't see that. And then I manipulate the ribbon just so you know. I use wired ribbon. So I like wired ribbon because it is very, very easy to work with. You can kind of manipulate it and move it however you like. So if I wanted the ribbon to stand up and poke out, you know, in different directions, I could. But in this instance, I just like to create that tail effect, right? And so I am going to go around alternating the football and leaf pattern with the berry pattern. So we did the football and the leaf, and now we're going to move to the berry. I think this is going to look so pretty. So this one, every now and then I'll lose my pipe cleaner. I can't explain why, it just happens. And so in those instances, or they get really, really small because, you know, maybe I had to start a new roll of mesh and had to use more pipe cleaner to tie it down. And so in those instances, I just go in and zip tie that ribbon in there. If I don't have access to the pipe cleaner like I want it, I'm kind of pushing the mesh out a little bit. And I do want to see the velvet as well as the print. I don't want to just see the print because all of it really makes the wreath. And so I will separate those ribbons so it gives it a layered look, and then we will move on again. So now you can see I've got all of my ribbon already cut, folded, ready to go. So I'm going to continue to go around. I put a set of ribbon in each space where you saw me place one of the colorful mesh accent pieces. You don't have to do that. If you're not a huge ribbon person and you want to see more of the mesh, you could always, you know, put the ribbon on every other piece. It really is a matter of personal preference. And I'm only saying that because, you know, you may be interested in trying your hand at a wreath on your own. And so I don't want you to think that there's one way to do it. There isn't. You can pretty much, you know, do it how you like. I've had people in the past tell me, oh, I'm not a big ribbon person. And, you know, I try to use minimal ribbon when they don't want that to be the focus. I love ribbon. I love beautiful ribbon. So, you know, if it's my preference, you're gonna see ribbon, and you're gonna see some pretty ribbon. But it's not everybody's thing, and that's fine. We aim to please, so we try and accommodate you in whatever your preferences are. So this is just really going to look nice. I really like how it's coming out already. And so I'm just gonna keep moving. I alternate football and berry. I hope you guys have had a good week and are having a good evening. For us here, it's our second week of school. Everybody's still just adjusting to the routine. It's really hard trying to get yourself together after being off for 2 months, you know, and trying to wake up early and get ready for the bus and just all of that. It's just amazing how quickly you can get out of routine and how hard it is to get back into it. But we've been doing really well. But I have been just super tired because during the summer I wake up. I don't even want to tell y'all because it's embarrassing what time I wake up during the summertime. But now I have to get up at 5:30 to make sure these kids are up and out and that they don't miss the bus. So it is taking a toll. But, you know, we'll be okay. We'll get back into the swing of things really soon. So if you have a little or big that has started school, I certainly wish you guys an amazing school year. And a healthy school year. In Jesus' name. Because, man, we have had, it's been crazy. That's all I'm going to say. It's been crazy. And everybody is just anxious for the school year to be normal. My daughter told me last night that she certainly hopes that her school will have more dances this year because they didn't have any last year because of COVID. And I know my son had one dance. One actually got canceled and was postponed, you know, because of a spike in COVID last year. So he ended up only having one dance experience. So I know it's tough. It's tough on the kids, but they're resilient. We all are. We just gotta, you know, continue to be prayed up and stay safe and do our due diligence at being safe. So I'm working my way around. You should be able to start seeing the pattern on your side of the wreath now. So you can see how it's coming along. I'm really loving these colors. Just moving it around. Yep, I can see where I started already, so we'll just keep going. And I'm telling you guys that I am not ready for Halloween and fall. And I'm low-key gearing up for Christmas too. You know, it's just, you know, in this craft world, everything is done ahead of the season so you can have your items for the season. That's kind of been a challenge for me because, you know, I don't want to look at Christmas stuff in July, but you know, it is what it, now I'm learning. I think more and more people are enjoying decorating their homes. Maybe it's because they spent more time at home the last couple of years. And so now decorating is a huge thing. In a lot of the places where I normally get my supplies, you know, it's kind of like going to TJ Maxx. It's like if you see it, you better get it because when you come back, it may not be there. And I'm telling you, it's the truth. You know, I learned. So now when I go in there, yeah, and I'm telling you, I bought Christmas stuff today. I know it's crazy, but I needed it. I knew I was going to need it. And I didn't feel comfortable just saying, oh, I'll wait until the next time. It'll still be here. They're just putting this inventory out. But I promise you, some of the things, you know, leaves the shelves as quickly as they're put on the shelves. So, I don't know. It's interesting. So I will be advertising really, really soon the holiday home decorating services because I want to be able to make sure I can have access to all of the beautiful ornaments and sprays and stems that I'm starting to see. You know, I don't want to have picked over things. I want to be able to get you all of the pretty stuff that's out early on. So if you know someone or you think you may be interested, please contact me, because I would start grabbing your things as early as possible. I would not wait. I'm telling you, it is not wise to wait. It is not. It will be gone. And I reference TJ Maxx because I do love TJ Maxx. TJ Maxx and Marshalls, actually. And I find oftentimes when, you know, you go to those kinds of stores, yeah, you see something, you might be mildly interested, you know, like, I don't know, it's cute, but I don't know if I need that, you know. And then you might decide, you know what, I could use that. And you go back and it is gone. It is gone. You know, and so that's why I referenced that, because that was what I experienced last year. Every time I went to like a Hobby Lobby or one of my other shops where I grab supplies, I promise you, 9 times out of 10, if I see it one day, it is most likely gone the next time I go. And I go often. I'm, you know, I have an excuse now. I don't have to be shamed for going to some of my craft stores as often as I do, because now I've got a reason to go. But yeah, so we don't waste any time. We just, you know, grab it when we see it. Okay. So as you can see, I've already started on the inside row. I'm just opening those ribbon up so you can see the print and the solid. I want you to see them both. See, especially because, and this is the other thing that I found very interesting, both of my print ribbon is set on this burlappy type of background. And so so that's a texture in and of itself, you know, that very linen kind of burlap. So that paired with the pretty velvet, just really, I love it. It's pretty. This lady better hope she gets this wreath. I might want to keep it for myself. Or maybe make one for myself. We will see. Okay, so I'm twisting, as I said, I'm twisting the pipe cleaner, snipping off the excess, folding over the tip, and then I open up my ribbon so you can see both of them. I like to have that velvet peeking out some. And we move on to the next, alternating with the football and burnt orange pair. Tying it in tight. All right. We are nearing the end of the ribbon part, guys. We are almost done. I hope I didn't miscount the ribbon too. I don't know. I'm telling you, I've been watching. Okay, so I have to. Okay, so I find all kinds of shows I like to watch while I'm working during the day. And a couple months back, I finished one series and ran into Grace and Frankie with Lily Tomlin and Jane Fonda. And, you know, yeah, I like a good show about, you know, good friendship and stuff like that. So I decided to give it a try. And I'll tell y'all, when I say I enjoyed that show, I enjoyed that show. It was well written. Lily and Jane Fonda are, you know, masters at their craft, and they just really made that show funny. And so oftentimes I'll be, you know, watching my TV and working, and I have to imagine That's how I get distracted sometimes and don't cut enough ribbon or don't cut enough mesh. But I try to avoid that as best I can. So now I'm looking at my ribbon and I'm thinking, okay, did I miscount that too? It's quite possible, but it's no biggie. I do have, yep, 2 more. Yep, I sure do. I'm off 1 just like last time. That is just crazy. Maybe I should turn the TV off when I'm cutting. But again, it would be a real problem if I didn't have any more of the ribbon. I do. It's one thing I learned, even though the wreaths I make are custom, you know, usually when I buy ribbon, I try to buy at least 2 of them in case someone else likes it, you know, likes the ribbon or wants a wreath similar to what they see. I want to at least be able to have enough to make, you know, a few more. So I usually will buy at least a 2nd roll. I learn as I go. I learn these things. There have been times when I only have 1 roll and then somebody asks, and I tell you, sometimes, especially the seasonal stuff, will fly off the shelf so quickly. So particularly for seasonal stuff, I like to double up. All right, so let me grab the football and that rust because I need 1 more of each. So I'm just gonna cut. So if you're wondering what this is just something that's called Perfect Tails. It's cut in a 12-inch size. I also have a 13-inch and a 14-inch. Depending on what I'm doing, I might want longer tails. But my average tails are 12 inches. And I'm sure you're wondering, like, why do you need that? Well, I'll show you why I need it. Because when you're cutting a lot of ribbon at once, you can take the ribbon, and that's a 12-inch strip, and if I need 5 of them, I can just go around and around and get as many as I need in that size, snip it off, snip the ends, and voila. It just makes the process go by a lot faster, especially when you're doing a high volume. And if I'm cutting a lot of ribbon, I wouldn't want to have to measure on my mat, you know, because it would just take a whole lot longer to do. So it's little tools, little things that really help you get through a lot easier. I will admit, when I first saw another wreath maker use it, I was like, oh, that's really cool. I got to get me that, you know, because I'm wearing myself out, you know, cutting all this ribbon 1 by 1. And then, so I ordered it, and when it came, I realized that it was just a little piece of wood that I probably could have gotten from the hobby store and cut myself, rather than pay what I paid for it. But you know, it's all good. It was another small business that makes those. Actually, the small business is called Perfect Tails, I do believe. Burlap Boutique. The Burlap Boutique actually sells these. Or at least that's where I bought these from. And but yeah, so you're living your life. If ever I need more, I know what to do now. I will be making my own tails, but it's my own, you know, little tail measurer. But it's all good. It is all good. I can't say that I haven't gotten my money's worth because I use it religiously. So there is that. Hey, Ozzy May, thank you for joining. We're working on a fall football wreath. She wanted it to have a football theme, but she also wanted it to be a fall theme. She wants to keep it up throughout the season, which I think was a very smart idea. And so that is what we're doing. So now I'm tying in the last pair of ribbon. Snipping off that excess, folding over the tip, And I'm going to spread my ribbon out so you can see both the orange and the print. And there we go. And so this is how it looks. I'm just curling it. I'm sure I'm going to do this again after I put the sign on. It's just how it is. But now I just wanted you guys to kind of see how it's coming together, how the ribbon really looks nice. Now you can understand why the maroon and the orange and the gold really complements the ribbon and makes it pop. I think it looks great. Thank you so much. Thank you, John. Hey, Everett. All right, so the next part is I am going to add the sign, right? And so prior to the show, I add these little mounts. I glue them with Gorilla Glue, and then I go over them with hot glue. It's Louisiana. It gets really, really hot out here, and so I find sometimes with some things, hot glue just isn't enough, especially on smooth surfaces like this metal. It's a metal sign. And so that's why I go, I glue it with the Gorilla Glue and then go over it with the hot glue just to make sure this doesn't come off of this. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to, let me stand up for a second and see where I want to place it, because I do have one other element that I'm thinking about adding. So I want to make sure I'm placing it in the right place. Okay. Alright, I think we're good right there. So I'm going to just fish my pipe cleaners through all four. I'm going to go this way because I'm not centering this sign because I have one more element that I want to add to the wreath before we're done. So there's a method to my madness, believe it or not. It is madness, but there's a method to it. Okay, so now I'm just gonna go in and fish my mesh through and tie them together. I'm not going to do it too tight in case I decide I want to move it over. So I just kind of want to set it. So I twist it a little bit just so it can stay in place, and then I move on to the next one. And then I will do the same thing. I will fish it through this mesh. Tie it down. All right, and then we're gonna move on. I think I will take this off. At first I was thinking about leaving this on, but what for? It has no value here. Okay, I'll get that other piece off underneath. And so now I'm going to do the same right here, fish it through. And last, fishing it through. Okay. This one really cooperated tonight, because sometimes I have a hard time getting that pipe cleaner through the mesh and stuff, because you know I've got a lot of gathers, a lot of puffs, so oftentimes it's just not going straight through. Even as thin as the mesh is, it's oftentimes not going straight through. The thinner parts of the mesh is going through the parts that I have, you know, gathered, and you know, so we just gotta make sure that everything is good. Now I'm just kind of spreading out the ribbon that got caught around the sign. Just like that. It's a really big sign. This sign is larger than most of my signs, but I like it, you know. But it is a little larger than most of the ones I use, so it's taking up a little more real estate, which is why I kind of put it to the side. And again, I will show you why I chose to do that in a second. And that is because, again, even though these are fall colors, you know, I couldn't help but still, I wanted to give her a little, I know we got football in here, but I wanted to give her a little bit of a Saints feel, even though I couldn't really incorporate black and gold. And trust me, I tried to find different ribbon that I thought might go, but there was nothing that I found that I was comfortable with, you know, to incorporate as it relates to Saints ribbon. Because again, Saints is like black, gold, and white, and obviously this is not. So came up with a plan B, and that is I had these antique finished fleur-de-lis. And so I thought, well, how cool would it be if I just added a fleur-de-lis right there to the design to finish it off and give it that Saints feel. Thank you, E. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to add this fleur-de-lis right here. And I'm going to do the same thing that I did with the sign. As you can see, I already pre-mounted and double glued this. I just pipe cleaners. Hold up, I need to grab 2 more pipe cleaners. All right. Okay. So just like the last sign, I'm just gonna fish my pipe cleaners through my mount. Hey Ben, thank you. Thank you for joining. How are you? Okay, so now I'm just going to go in and just like I did for the sign, I'm going to fish my pipe cleaner through the mesh. All right, that one's in. So is that one. I kind of wanted to go catty corner like that. So I'm just twisting that pipe cleaner around. And now I'm going to do the same on this side. Just fishing it through. This one's giving me a little bit of the blues. Come on, cooperate. So when the mesh is really thick, I love thick mesh because to me it makes the wreath look fuller, but thick mesh makes it more difficult for the pipe cleaners. Okay, so now we got it. I'm just tying it down. Just like that. All right. And now, my friends, we are all done. Let me just make sure I got all my ribbon kind of adjusted like I want it. Going all the way around. It's awesome to see you too. I'm so well, I can't see you, but it's awesome that I get to talk to you. It's been a long time. I hope you guys are doing great. All right, so yes, so I'm just going around checking all my ribbon, make sure it's, you know, I can see all of the pieces, the oranges and the browns, the footballs and the berries. I'm just going around. Sometimes you smash the ribbon while you're putting the sign on, and I'm just making sure everything is good. As I mentioned, I use wired ribbon, so it really easily moves on you. So even if you do order a wreath from me, and if you see any little piece of ribbon that's out of place because it's been boxed, just, you know, all you got to do is just curl it. It only takes a second. Just kind of manipulate it with your fingers and it'll go exactly where you want it to go. You know, I try to put enough space in between the ribbon and the box itself so it doesn't mash. I'm very cautious about that, but sometimes you just can't, you know, you can't help it. Some things will get a little moved around. So, but ribbon is very forgiving, and it, you know, it does what, it's obedient. It does what you want it to do. So now I'm just going to show you guys the finished product. And so that, one more. There we go. So this is Grateful, Thankful, Blessed, Fall and Football. Let me back it up. Sign, I'm sorry, I'm trying to, okay. Trying to get it even so you guys can see it. Try to bring it up closer so you can see it. I love the fleur-de-lis. I love the sign, the ribbon. It all just came out really, really nice. And what I will do is I will post this tomorrow, as I normally do, on my Facebook page, Instagram page, as well as my website. Again, it is a custom, but I can make another or variation of it. And so if you like the idea of incorporating fall and football, and this these colors do it for you, or similar colors, you know, we can most certainly make it work. And I hope she really likes it, and I hope I was able to carry out her vision and even incorporate a little bit of our saints into her fall football wreath. So that is that. I want to tell you guys before I wrap up, I know I started really, really late, so I want to wrap up really, really soon because I appreciate you guys being here. But I had an announcement. I told you at the beginning of the show I had an announcement, and I was going to wait until the end. And so I just wanted to let you guys know that in Baton Rouge, the Junior League of Baton Rouge hosts an event called Holidays. Holidays is a huge event that happens at the River Center downtown. It's a 3-day event where you can come in, you purchase a ticket, and you can come in and you can shop. It's hundreds of vendors there, and you can get your holiday shopping done. You can get some youth shopping done. You can do, you know, just about anything. You can support local vendors, and I mean, you name it, they have it, from clothes to decorations for your home to candles to jewelry to food and food products. I remember a couple years ago, Keith and I went to Holidays, and there was this local company. I can't remember where they're not here in Baton Rouge. They're like I can't remember, somewhere farther north, Louisiana, but they sold like fish fry and chicken batter and seasoning. But all of their seasonings, all of their fish fries and their chicken batter were like super, super low in sodium. And, you know, we try and we try to watch our health and not do things that are too over the top with salt. But salt tastes delicious. We all know this. And so we happened to be walking past their booth, not even thinking about buying their stuff, but they were giving samples, and we tasted it, and we're like, oh, it's delicious. And that's when he started showing us the items and telling us how it was very, very low sodium, almost no sodium, which is very hard to believe because it was super, super tasty. And to this day, I still buy the seasoning. It's actually called Swamp Dust. Look it up. It's local. It's called Swamp Dust. It's like a low sodium version of Tony Chachere's, but it tastes awesome. You hear me? It tastes awesome, and it's called Swamp Dust. You heard it from me. I'm sure they're going to be there at Junior League at the holidays. But I tell you, I will be there as well. And I won't have a booth. I won't be selling my wreaths, but I will be decorating Christmas trees that will go up for auction at the Holidays Gala. And I am so excited. It's only a few designers selected, and it's a really big deal, and I'm like so excited, which is why I mentioned, my radar is Christmas, because I'm picking my themes. I actually have 2 trees, and I'm picking my themes. And so as I see awesome things that fit my themes, I'm like, oh, I gotta grab it, because when I come back, I don't know if it's gonna be here. And holidays is in October. I believe it's the 12th through the 15th of October, and you can purchase tickets. And in addition to awesome shopping opportunities, coming to check out Rivers and Beauxs and our trees that are going to be on display. You can also enter to win a 2022 Mercedes-Benz GLB 250 SUV. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, I don't know. That was a lot. All I know is a 22 Mercedes-Benz SUV. And they are going to be raffling off this Mercedes. The car was donated by Mercedes-Benz to Junior League's Holidays. And I am actually a new member of Junior League, so I actually have raffle tickets. So if you're interested in purchasing a ticket to win the Mercedes-Benz, they're $10 each. Just shoot me a little message on Facebook. I'll make sure I put one on the side for you and arrange how to get the payment and how to make sure you get your ticket. The winner doesn't need to be present, but it's $10, and you could possibly walk away with a 2022 Mercedes-Benz SUV. I think that would make for a very nice Christmas gift. So again, if anybody's interested in purchasing a raffle ticket for that, reach out to me and I'll be happy to take care of you. I would encourage you to come and see me at Holidays. As we get closer, I'll be giving more detail. I probably won't be sharing my theme because I want to have a big reveal live from the River Center when I'm down there decorating and getting it all set up. But just please understand that I am so excited and grateful for the opportunity to put my skills on display at such a huge event. It's just and it's for a great cause. Junior League does a wealth of good work all across the United States. And specifically here in Baton Rouge, as a volunteer organization, and I'm happy to be a part of it. So I'm excited about that, y'all. I really am. So yes, even though I'm doing fall and football and Saints and Southern and LSU, in the back of my mind, I got hollies and jollies going on too. But anyway, again, I will give more information about the event because I would love to see your faces, and I love to you to see the work we're doing on the trees. And again, you want to take a chance on that car, holla at your girl. But again, thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. I hope y'all enjoyed the show. Again, I'm sorry for the late start. Sometimes we just have technical difficulties, but I appreciate you guys for being patient with me and sticking with me. And I hope to see you guys next week. For those of you who are new, I generally like to end my lives with a short prayer. I appreciate you being here, and I can't think of a better way to show my appreciation and gratitude than to say a prayer for you. So, Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day, Father God. We thank you for waking us up this morning, God, and getting us through. We thank you for the challenges, because challenges brings us closer to you, Father God. We thank you for all of the good, Father God. We thank you for seeing the good in everything, Father God. We thank you for gathering tonight and together as a group to enjoy this time, Father. And I pray for each and every person under the sound of my voice that you provide a hedge of protection over them until we meet again. And it's in your Son Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Amen. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'll see you next week, 6:30 on the dot. We'll have it all together. See y'all later.